Welcome Capricorn and Capricorn cross watchers to your singles and new love read. So we're going to get where you are, where you're headed, and what you need to know. Damn. And then we're going to use a different deck to find the next love interest. Doesn't mean you want them. It just means the next person that is interested in you romantically. Excuse me, for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And that'll be timestamped in the description box below. Oh. Oh. All right then. So we have the Five of Pentacles and the Justice card as where you are and where you're headed. So Capricorn, hold on for a second here. It actually feels like the energy of these cards is very, very different, right? One is someone that is, you know, practically begging, and the other person is someone that kind of has everything. So I feel like there does seem to be quite a shift coming for you. And it's almost like it's one of those things that'll happen so fast that it's almost like you have to blink a few times. You have to take a second to even like get a sense of your surroundings. It just feels like it's something that's it's almost like a complete 180. And I feel like you're kind of standing here in this Justice card. It does feel like you're kind of like, am I even supposed to be here? It just feels, it's very surreal. I feel like there's something here that you don't give up on. I also feel to a certain extent that it's almost like there's something that's coming back to you. I feel like you may have put some energy out into the universe and it feels like it's coming back. And I feel like there's someone here that it's almost like they've been waiting to make sure that this would happen. I kind of feel like I actually feel like you may not really even know that this person is kind of keeping an eye on you. If there are people that are keeping an eye on you, you know, that you know about, great, but that's not this one. I feel like this is someone that feels like it's someone that's kind of been looking out for you. It's almost like it's the person that would kind of like put you up for, or kind of like recommend you for a job or for something like that, right? And I feel like this person, to a lot of people, they seem to come across as a bit flighty, unreliable. I'm almost getting like that Knight of Wands type energy from it. But I feel like they have some really good contacts, right? They have it's like the network of people that they have. It's almost like this person, even if they are a bit maybe not dependable, there's certain things that they do or that they know really, really well. And whatever it is that you kind of are stepping into here, they know that well. And I feel like people respect their opinion when it comes to that. It's like maybe no one counts on this person to be on time, but they don't recommend people lightly. And they really seem to see something in you. Quite a bit, actually. I feel like they really kind of get something out of it, almost like a little bit of gratification that that they know that they've helped you. Okay, so we're going to get a couple of clarifiers because is this the right deck? It is not. One second. I'm going to get the other one. Can we get a clarifier for this? Knight of Wands. I feel like, hold on for a second. I almost want to say if you knew who this blessing was coming from, you wouldn't take it. You'd be like, F that guy, F that girl, F that person. Like, It's almost like if it's coming from them, I don't want it. So I feel like that also may be why this person's being a little bit flighty. If that's not it, it could just be that you would be floored if you found out who this was coming from, because again, they come across to you as somebody that's like either, hold on for a second, as someone without substance. They might seem to you, I feel like they seem cocky and empty and placing too much importance on like stuff, having things, buying things, owning things. And it's almost like to you, they seem to have no depth to them. And I feel like it's almost like they seem to like that you don't know. It's almost like, oh my God, this person's just really, I find them very intriguing. They seem to really enjoy that they helped you, but there's this added bonus for them that they know that you would hate it if you knew it was coming from them. Like, and it's like, because it's almost like it's a little bit of an act of defiance that they're helping you without you knowing. Because they know that you would never take it from them. And it's almost like they feel like they're getting the last laugh. This is such a strange thing to say. They feel that they're getting the last laugh by helping you and you accepting that help without you knowing it's coming from them. It's almost like it's an act of rebellion. You know what I mean? I feel like this person, they're looking at the world through such a peculiar lens. It's like they want to help you, but they know that you would hate it coming from them. So they're going to make sure you get the help, and they're just going to kind of giggle to themselves that they get to help you and you can't say no. It's a really playful energy. I don't think I've laughed this much in a read. Like, it's just, I feel like it's somebody that would, if ever given the opportunity, they might tell you down the road, but they're not going to tell you right now. That's for sure. So I think we're going to actually just get one on this. Can we get one for the Five of Pentacles, please? I also feel, okay, that the Six of Wands person knows that you've been working really hard. And it's like, I mean, there also is that little rebellious, defiant bit to it, but they kind of feel like, even if the two of you aren't the best of friends, that no one deserves this more than you. That's a little, can we get one on the Five of Pentacles? Two's good too. Wow. We have the King and Six of Cups. Oh, somebody messed you around. Okay. So I won't get too into this because I feel like I'm going to get really, really pissed. Somebody really messed you around. It feels like somebody kind of took everything from you here. And it's almost the energy of somebody that was on the right track. They were on the way, and it's like, and you just came home, the doors were locked, your bank accounts were like, everything was just frozen. It was done. It was over. I feel like somebody waited until you had built something to a certain point, and then they didn't just pull the rug out from underneath you. It's like they pulled the rug out and there was a trap door and you fell into this pit. And this one doesn't like that. They may not know all of the details, but they know darn well that somebody that works the way that you do, that is capable of doing what you're doing, doesn't belong there. And it's like, they know the look. They know the look of somebody that is in a tough spot in their life because somebody screwed them over. You know what I mean? Sometimes we kind of fall down this slippery slope because there's stuff we have to deal with or this or that. But it's like, this person can see in your eyes when you're in this energy here that's not where you're staying. That like, maybe this person did take what they took, but like, and if it's not a who cares sort of energy, okay, let's be real clear about that. But it doesn't change who you are. if you're somebody that always is working hard, that wants good things for yourself, and you keep going and you don't give up, it's almost like you see whatever they took from you. It's like, it's a like, yeah, that happened, but it's a temporary setback. It's not going to keep you there. And I do feel that either people may have warned you about what happened, or to a certain extent, I feel like you may have, it's like you felt something coming. It's like, I'm hearing for some of you, you might have received an email about it. For example, one time I was working for this company, and I had come in to fill in for someone who went on leave and then permanently left. And so I was actually had been using their email address, and I kept getting this email, this automated email saying like, your email is going to be shut down in 30 days, 15 days. And so I went to them and I was like, okay, well, what's going on with this? And they're like, no, we're just going to switch it over. It's fine. It's fine. And it turned out actually that that email was going to be shut down because I was not going to have a job there. So, and it turned out that they had like hired some, like it was this whole thing. And some people that were a little bit higher up in the company were kind of like, yeah, that they really didn't, I mean, it's business, right? It's not personal, but they didn't really conduct themselves with integrity. And I feel like you may have kind of gotten some like weird, it's like people may have said things to you that were kind of like, oh, that's a little bit off, right? It's almost like it didn't make sense. And I feel like you were so busy that you may not have taken it into account. And all of those things obviously come together when this kind of falls apart. And I feel like I kind of wish that I had your resolve here, because you're taking it as a lesson learned. And I almost want to say, Cap, that I feel like you might actually be in an energy where it's like you're going to feel upset, but you're going to feel upset when you're in this energy, right? It's like that's when you're going to process those emotions. You're not going to do it right now. And it's not me encouraging you or the cards encouraging you, of course, to, ignore your emotions. I feel like you decide that you're going to build yourself back up. And then when you get there, you'll turn around and address whatever this is. But for right now, I feel like you just use it as motivation to push yourself, or I guess pull yourself out of this. So Capricorn, for those of you with your sun in Capricorn, oh. We have the 10 of Wands. Okay. I think we're going to get some clarifiers. I'm just looking at which deck we're going to use. Yeah. So the 10 of Wands usually talks about things really feeling like very burdened. I actually feel like when you see this person, oh no. Ugh. This person wants your help. And it's almost like they might kind of like throw romance into the mix, or they might kind of like learn to depend on you so much that that's kind of something that they bring into the mix. But from what I'm seeing here, I feel like it's somebody that they kind of need help. They need someone to kind of be a champion. And because you are somebody that functions the way that you do, this person is looking for someone to like help them come up with a new system to either streamline or like lighten their load or whatever it is. It's almost like this person, it's like rather than you, for example, rather than you running your company and them running their company, they would rather just kind of come and work for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and doesn't mean it's, that's not a bad thing necessarily, right? What's the interest in Capricorn? Ace of Swords. It feels like the energy of somebody that like they mightn't get involved with you, but they have a lot of debt. or they have a lot of, like, they have something that they are not going to be honest with you about. And it feels like it's something that they might tell you about once the two of you are at a certain point in the relationship. It's almost like once they feel the two of you are firmly ensconced enough that it's not going to be a problem for you, then they'll tell you. It's almost like they may not tell you about, hold on for a second. They're obviously not going to be honest with you about whatever burdens they've got going on. I feel like they see you as somebody, it was kind of like, what do they kind of want with Capricorn? How do they feel about them? So this person seems to feel like you know what it is, and I'm not trying to be mean to this person, okay? It's not a diminutive thing what I'm about to say. This is somebody that wants a leader, and they don't want to be a leader with you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they want someone that they can trust, that they can follow. And they seem to, it almost feels when they see you, it's like this huge relief, like, oh, finally, they don't have to be the one that is responsible. And now let me flesh that out a little bit. Not that this person is irresponsible, not that they're not going to work hard. They just don't want to be the person making the decisions. And they seem to see that in you. And regardless of how you feel about this person, I do want to say, Capricorn, for someone to put that much faith and trust in your capabilities, to me, this is not in the cards. This is just my own personal opinion. And you can throw it out the window if you want, right? Nobody cares what I think, but I'm going to say it anyway. That should be a feather in your cap, that somebody sees you as somebody that is strong enough and capable enough and wise enough that they would kind of like be grateful to follow somebody like you, and not follow you around like a little puppy dog or something like that, right? It's more, they see you as a leader they would be proud to follow. So for those of you with your moon in Capricorn, moon in Capricorn. Next, romantic interest. Come on, man. They keep like almost coming out. Moon in Capricorn. There we go. We found it. So I hope it doesn't take forever for this person to come along. But we have the 10 of Cups here. So I feel like, I mean, of course, it's a great card, of course, right? I'm going to be honest. You might not want to hear this. I feel like it's something that is hard earned, but not that you're putting a ton of work into somebody. It does feel like it's something that doesn't happen. I kind of hope that this doesn't resonate with most of you, because it might not be what everybody wants to hear. I feel like you might not really find someone until later in life. Maybe you'll date people, but it's like finding someone that really feels like they can be a very strong, not ally, but it's like someone that is a strong enough partner that can inspire you. I feel like that doesn't come right away. I feel like it takes some time, and I feel like it's because you're somebody that is so capable, right? That it's like even you seem to find yourself in positions where you're kind of like, how did I even get here? I feel like finding somebody that is strong enough to match that energy, but with their own skills and their own talents, I feel like that takes a while. And it's like, it's not because of, the universe wants you to be alone or something like that. I feel like it seems to take some time for each of you to refine your skills. I'm going to be honest. I feel like you get there a little bit faster than they do. I feel like this person's kind of resisting it a little bit, if I'm being totally honest. It does feel like it's kind of the energy of somebody that they do eventually accept doing the things that they don't want to do to get what they do want. But I feel like this seems to be somebody that takes a little bit of delight in bucking the system, if you will. So it's like sometimes they may cut off their nose to spite their face just to so that they're still the person that's in control of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they put that to rest before the two of you come together, because I feel like you would have no use for that at all. We're just going to get a clarifier on that. You know what? The decks today are going to mess around and end up missing, because it's the second time today that they've made a liar out of me. We have the Three of Wands reversed, and the Three of Wands usually talks about waiting for your ships to come in. And I just sat here and pontificated about how it's going to take a while to come in, and, you know, maybe not. Anyway, sorry, I'm just being facetious. I feel like, if ever you've heard that song, I Feel It Coming by The Weeknd, it feels like this person's going to feel you coming into their life. It feels like it's going to feel like a really big thing. It's almost like that energy of like running around cleaning your house, but like no one's actually coming over, but you just feel this like, oh, I got to do the thing. I have to clean my house right now. And it's like the second this person finishes cleaning their house, you knock on their door. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like this energy of somebody that is, oh, the energy is really palpable in here. It does feel, hold on for a second, like somebody is trying to get you to move. I'm sorry, not you. It feels like, hold on. Oh, this energy's a little confusing. One second. This person is going to get some sort of like sign or signal to move their ASS and get themselves in gear. And I feel like it's because if they don't get ready by the time you get there, it almost feels like you end up being this pendulum that just kind of keeps swinging back and forth until this person gets themselves together and reaches out to grab you. I feel like, and listen, it doesn't mean that this is your one and only person and so on and so forth, right? It just feels like to find someone that you feel has just as much to offer, but in a different way as you do. It takes this person a while. And I feel like it's, for a Capricorn, it's strange for me to say this. I feel like there's times where you get a little bit impatient. And I actually feel like that impatience isn't yours specifically. I feel like it's more like this person's spirit team. It's almost like they're in a room and they set this, let's say like their whole spirit team is in a room and they're all talking and they've set up this really great scenario for your person to have an opportunity. And your person's like, well, I didn't have any control over it, so I'm not taking it. And I feel like they're all standing there. It's like how you watch a football game or the Super Bowl, football, I guess also soccer, or like the Super Bowl or like a really important game and everyone's standing there and they've got their drink in hand. Doesn't mean it's, anyway. And it's like, and this person just flat out refuses to play or to catch the ball or to kick the ball or whatever. It's like a goalie in a soccer or football game where they just kind of stand there and they refuse to kind of like block the ball or whatever. And I'm seeing this person's spirit team having their drink and be like, no! And they throw in like this person, like they just seem to be such a pain in the ass. I'm sorry, I should have warned you. For their spirit team, that I feel like sometimes the frustration from them kind of seems to, it's almost like if you feel that kind of impatience or frustration kind of come from behind you, it's almost like you'll feel that it's around you, but it's not, it didn't start here. It's not yours. It's that this person is a pain in the butt. I don't feel like they'll be that way when they get to you, when the two of you kind of cross paths or the two of you come together. But they sure are that way for a while. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm feeling a little bit of that, like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I feel like this person, they seem to kind of like duck and dodge the things that they're supposed to do. It does feel like it's kind of a playful energy, but it does feel like that's kind of, you know, they're delaying this, you aren't. So for those of you with a Capricorn Rising, Page of Wands, Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Sorry to report, you may not be interested in this person. I feel like they are a student that kind of falls in love with a teacher, or it's like, I'm almost getting, I feel a bit crass for saying this, so please forgive me, okay? It's almost like you might be the parent of one of their friends or, you know, something like that. But whatever it is, it's like there is a huge age gap and this person is crazy attracted to you. It's the kind of person that they might already be friends with your, like, for example, let's say you're a parent and this person is friends with your child. They'll come around more often to your house when they meet you. You know what I mean? And it's like, I actually feel like this person, it's like you're that, again, this is going to sound really crass. It's like you're Stifler's mom. You know what I mean? It's that kind of an energy. It doesn't mean that you are, you know, specifically a certain type of gender, but you are really attractive to this person. It feels like to them, they've seen you in a dream before. And there's something about seeing you in real life that seems to, I feel like for a while, it takes this person to have like they have a hard time not thinking about you. Not so much that it's to the point of obsession, but I do feel like they kind of fall in love with you without actually, you know, like, I don't know how to say this, like being around you, spending time. You know what I mean? It's like they're obviously not going to get to know you that well. I do feel like there's a pretty big age gap. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't, if it's like a student teacher, it's not like, you know, university, college and student and their professor. It's like, you know, early high school, maybe younger, maybe it's just high school, but whatever it is, it's like this person's really young. And I feel like their attention actually makes you a little uncomfortable. Not that they're being too forward with it, but it's like, oh, that sounds like a lawsuit. And like, you know what I mean? Like you're just not, I'm sorry to say this. I wish I had some, you know, nicer news. It doesn't feel like, okay, I want to be really clear. It doesn't feel like you're going to get sued over anything. Okay. It feels like you are smart enough to know that, number one, you're not attracted to this person. Number two, it's like, it's bad form to even encourage this person. And I feel like if it is a student in your class or whatever, I feel like you kind of start to, I feel like you seem to start to disconnect. You seem to find a way to pull out from it. And not that you were involved with them or anything, but just out of the kind of like energetic approach of this person. it feels like you end up leaving them waiting about something, and they start to see you as a little bit selfish. And I feel like, and then they're on to the next one. I mean, the Page of Wands isn't notoriously somebody that would be terribly dependable, right? That's more impulsive. So it's like they have this insane crush on you. You may find yourself, it's like you could just be, you know, making dinner at home or whatever, and all of a sudden you start thinking about them. It's because they're almost like ensconced in their mind about you in those moments. It doesn't feel like it's, you know, terribly, or sorry, that it affects you in any way, really. I just feel like it's almost like if I'm not saying that you did, and the cards aren't saying that either, but if you saw a lot of potential in this person, it's like, for example, let's say maybe you're a new teacher, you saw a lot of potential in them and you gave them some extra guidance because you could see that they could excel beyond where they are, but they took it as interest. I feel like you refine that skill in the future. And like, it doesn't mean that you don't give people extra guidance when they can go beyond where they are, but it does mean that you are a little bit more careful, or like a little bit wiser in your approach and how you give them that guidance. It's like almost kind of keeping a certain personal distance from people. Well, I was going to say, so for those of you with a Venus in Capricorn, we have the Three of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands. So like, fingers crossed, guys. I am a Venus in Capricorn. So with this card here, I feel like I'm almost getting a little bit like of an unrequited love. I feel like there's somebody here that you, it feels like it's not a long lost love sort of energy, okay? But it does feel here that it's like, how do I say this? Almost like, it feels like it's somebody that's really smart. I'm here, like, I feel like this person is somebody that is hella smart. I feel like it's not somebody that you reach out to kind of talk to right away. But I feel like you see them as almost kind of like a bit of a leader. I'm going to be honest. I'm not saying this because you're being cocky or anything. I feel like you kind of don't. It's like maybe they're a leader where they are, but it feels to you that they're not quite a leader that's at your level. And that's not to, you know, put anybody down or anything. It just feels like they seem to be somebody that wants to help people just a little bit too much. You know what I mean? It's like they could be more successful if they didn't feel the need to help everybody. You know what I mean? And that's not you being like, oh, crappy in any way, okay? It just feels like this person seems to be somebody that will help others to the detriment of their self, which, like, that's not the point of helping somebody, right? The point of helping somebody is to enrich their life and also have, like, there is always a benefit to helping somebody, but not, I feel, the way that this person does it, because I feel like they give too much away. And it does feel like to you that you could kind of give them some guidance and help them with that. But because you don't do the same thing because you don't do the same thing that they do, you don't overextend yourself, and you're not going to help somebody that hasn't, it's almost like you're not going to be kind of getting involved in something that isn't, it's almost like it's not any of your business until this person says something, or it's like, or until you get to know them better. What's the card between Justice and the Three of Pentacles? Okay. So I kind of wanted the cards to be like this. I thought it would be one. So just give me a second here. I feel like the two of you are really going to clash. I actually feel like this person will see you as a bit shallow, a bit selfish. Um, it's like they kind of can't deny that you've had success, but to a certain extent, I feel like they're a bit judgmental about how you got it. Um, it actually feels like it's the two of you. You may be similar in some aspects, but when it comes to that kind of thing, it's like there's a lot of aspects that the two of you are opposites in. And I feel like, well, there may be some things about this person that you don't agree with. Some things you may not even, it's like you can't really respect some of the things that they do. I feel like what you do respect is the fact that that they're kind of living their life in a way that they don't care what anybody else thinks. They're not doing it because of this or because of that. It's like this is the kind of person that will help somebody, but they're not going to be posting about it on social media. They're not doing it because they want other people to be like, oh, they're so altruistic, la 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 la. It's like they're actually doing it because that makes them feel like their day was worth something. I feel like this person is a lot deeper and a lot more emotional than they let on. I feel like they act like they're all about business. That's BS. This person is deeply, deeply emotional. And I feel like they almost seem to, it's like there's a competition between the two of you, not a formal one, I don't feel anyway, but it's almost like as fast as you are doing things, this person wants to undo them, if that makes sense. It's almost like two people who actually really enjoy each other, but they're on opposite teams, right? It's like the red team and the green team are playing each other. You're on the red team, they're on the green team. The two of you are well matched and you really enjoy challenging each other. But I feel like at the end of the day, you're kind of on opposite sides of the coin. And I feel like the more the two of you interact, the more that kind of like mutual respect seems to really develop, because I feel like both of you see that you're each putting in more work than anyone else on your team. It just feels like it's in very different ways. I feel like you do it because you're maybe just kind of to illustrate the energy, not necessarily, I mean, obviously this isn't going to be the case for everybody, but I feel like you're somebody over here that you're going to be putting plays together. You're going to be talking with the coach. You're going to be like, I don't know, creating drills, or I don't know what people do on sports teams, but you know what I mean. And then this person over here, they're going to be practicing with each of the players, and they're going to be kind of like taking time with the players that are the least skilled and showing them skills, and taking time and encouraging them. Right. So it's like, and again, please don't get caught up in the gender that's assigned. Okay. But I kind of feel like you may be a masculine. It doesn't mean that you're a male. Okay. Doesn't mean that you're a female. Doesn't mean that you're any specific type of gender. I just feel like you may have more masculine energy um, with like a deep understanding of feminine. And I feel like this person is more that kind of feminine energy, that feminine support. So it's like that seems to be where that mutual respect comes from. I feel like each of you see the value and the benefit in what the other person is doing, but you both know that, and it's like, and those things need to be combined for something to be at its most powerful state. But neither of you would actually be happy doing what the other person is doing, right? It's like this person doesn't want to be sitting, alone or with a couple of people drafting plays. They want to be there. They want to be kind of on the ground level, helping people, seeing the effect that they have on how people feel about themselves. Whereas it's like you kind of are happy to be almost like a little bit more top tier, creating the plan and then filtering that plan out where it needs to go. So I think we're going to pull one more card between these two, or two more. So we have the oh, sorry, I didn't even say that. We have the Five of Swords with the Six of Swords reversed. And then we do have this Knight of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to be honest. I feel like the two of you see the value in what the other person is doing, but it does feel like the two of you may fight like cats and dogs. I'm going to be honest. And it's not that you're, standing there yelling and screaming at each other. I feel like you kind of seem to really disagree on where energy should be spent. And so it feels like it would be one of those relationships where it's like you legit, okay, maybe the two of you both want to work really hard and you are really devoted to what is important to you, but what's important to you, or kind of your priorities, seem to be the opposite of this person's priorities. So it's like, it feels like it's one of those relationships that would really be very challenging to maintain. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't mean it's impossible. It's the energy of two people who are very skilled and talented in very different aspects. And it's like both of you would have to really put in the time and effort to make sure that you're each being respectful of the other person and not, kind of dismissive of what they feel is important. And I feel like it does seem to be one of those things that could really grow, could really be something. You know what I mean? Because you guys both bring such different skills to the table. It just feels like it may kind of settle into a friendship for a lot of you, because I feel like some of you really will, it feels like there's some things that you really don't see eye to eye on, and it feels like it's not really, it's like it would take a lot of compromise. And I feel like there's some things that you would feel like you're giving into that feel like they're useless. And I feel like it may feel that way for a short period of time, but you would see the long-term benefit in it. But again, it's obviously at the end of the day, it seems like it would be a really challenging relationship, especially at first. I do want to say, Capricorn, you may feel like you want to be a little bit cold to this person because at times they feel like it feels like they're being a bit unreasonable. And I feel like if you want to be in a relationship with this person, if it progresses past that, once the two of you develop a friendship, because I feel like because the two of you are such opposites, that friendship would have to be there in order for that, it to not get into a place where someone is being disrespectful to somebody else. I'm going to be honest. I feel like if that friendship isn't there, there's going to be some things that this person does that you have a hard time respecting. Not that you're disrespectful to them or you say anything about it that would be disrespectful, but there's some things where you see them as actively wasting their time until you see the benefit that is like down the road sort of thing. And it's not that, I know that's a strange thing to say to a Capricorn because you guys work, for the long game. It just feels to you that sometimes this person is wasting their time, but to them, I want to say like making these people feel good about playing whatever sport they're playing, even if they're terrible at it, just helping those people find a way to enjoy it. That's a day well spent for this person. And that doesn't mean that it's not a day well spent for you. Okay. It's not trying to assign anything to anybody. It feels like when you see, it's like if this person keeps going to the same gym every day and the people that they're training with aren't getting any more goals or baskets or whatever. I'm not a sports person. I'm trying. You may not see the benefit in that right away, but it's like the teamwork and group cohesion that would come out of something like that. It's like you would see the benefit of that. That's why it feels like if there's a friendship where the two of you know and understand and are able to, like, you've already seen the value in what each of you brings to the table, then it feels like the two of you would be unstoppable. I feel like it would actually take a lot more patience on your end than it would on this person's end to get there. And it's not that this person is any worse or you're any worse or anything like that. It just feels like, I'm going to be honest here, Capricorn, you might not like to hear this. I feel like they might not be as judgmental as you are about what you're doing, right? It's like if you see what they're doing as a bit of a waste of time, it's like maybe they understand the value in what they're doing, but they don't want to know how to do it, right? And I feel like at first you may struggle to see the value in what they're doing. And in that, you may be a little bit more judgmental. That's all. So that's what I have for you today, Capricorn. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful and brought you some clarity. I will have, of course, the mini weekly love reads coming out on Sunday. And then next week will be kind of a different read for the Thursday reads. Private readings will be open soon in the next couple of weeks. So if you would like to get on the wait list for those, please shoot me an email. My email's in the description box, and then I will be contacting everyone on the list when they're open again. And we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.